Okay. How Madakyapi. My name is Jennifer Zephyr, and I'm with my classmate Gwen Puyer, and our other classmate that is also doing this project with us is Nakina Mills, who is unable to be here tonight. We are part of the Oglala Lakota College graduate program, which is Lakota Leadership and Management. We are currently taking a course called Community Organizing. And the project that we all chose together was the issue that we're facing on the reservation. Throughout the whole entire Pine Ridge Reservation is methamphetamine. The reason why we chose to do this topic was because during our class, we were brainstorming and thinking about the issues that are affecting our people and our communities today. And as we were thinking about that, we all felt that meth, that was the common factor when we were thinking and brainstorming about the different issues that are impacting our communities, our families, our children, and our people. And so we wanted to do this project was to bring awareness to the issue of meth on our reservation and the impact it is having on our people. We wanted to conduct live interviews with people within our community that are that have been impacted or working with the meth epidemic. So we will be interviewing Bob Eccoffy, who is the chief of police for the Pine Ridge Public Safety, and also a recovering addict who courageously is willing to participate in our awareness video, and his name is David Mills. I would like to introduce the Chief of Police for the Oglala Sioux Tribe, Bob Eccoffy. And we are interviewing Bob to shed light on the meth epidemic that has been impacting our community across the reservation. Has there been an increase, or there?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Meth is totally new to. To myself in law enforcement. I started law enforcement in 1975 when meth was not an issue.
Yeah.
And now, in coming to the reservation and coming home and seeing the devastating impact that it's having, it's critical that we work together, not only in law enforcement but our treatment centers, our treatment facilities, our courts, our tribal council. We need to look at some new approaches to attacking the meth problem.
What are some of your, is there any trainings or any type of things that you guys are doing with meth for your officers or your staff?
Yeah, we do have training with our officers in terms of drug awareness, identifying different types of drugs out in the field, identifying different types of behaviors of drug users. You can really tell if somebody's tweaked out as a meth user, and it's just something that our officers, when they either do vehicle stops or individual stops, they notice right away is this person's high on meth, or meth is affecting them.
Yeah. So they're really aware of the behavior indicators.
That's correct.
Okay.
Just some of the numbers that I would like to give as far as the meth and other drugs, but in fiscal year 2019, which comes October 1st of 18 to September 30th of 2019, we had 728 individuals arrested for drug possession, ingestion, or distribution. And of those 728 arrests for drugs, 347 was for marijuana, 310 for meth, 28 for cocaine, and 29 for other drug-related issues. And so, that kind of gives you some figures in terms of what we're seeing out there.
So what is the amount that somebody that has possession of meth or when would it be turned over to the federal level?
It's usually after we obtain multiple buys from an individual and show that there's continued.
So it has to be continued use? Okay.
Yeah. And if we can get some multiple buys and stuff, then we turn it over to the feds and then they get involved. And we have several avenues that we're looking at in terms of enforcement. I have 2 full-time tribal drug investigators that are working on it, one for each side of the reservation, east and west side. We have 2 BIA investigators that are full-time drug agents, and then 1 full-time FBI agent, and then we have a drug task force, which is called
so you guys have okay.
which is called Safe Trails Task Force, which is made up of federal, state, local, and county and tribal officers that cover this area. So we utilize that task force in terms of any federal indictments or charges against individuals, and then our officers basically work any misdemeanor arrest here on the reservation and take it through tribal court. And one thing that I can really say, and I think that I'm pretty happy with it, is the action of the Attorney General and the courts in dealing with these drug issues.
Yeah.
I mean, our courts are actually taking it pretty serious. We just convicted an individual out in the Kyle Wombly area, and he was sentenced to 10 months in jail. And this was for possession and distribution of meth. He was sentenced to 10 months in jail with no half time. That he's got to serve the full 10 months. And then basically the prosecutor told him again, if you go back and get involved in this again, we're going to look at excluding you off of the reservation.
Under the banishment.
The banishment clause. And so, the court is we're taking it very serious, and the court's taking it very serious. But, we can't jail ourselves out of this problem.
Yeah.
It's a social issue. It's in terms of your dependence on the drugs and stuff, and we have to work with our treatment facilities. We have to look at some type of comprehensive, in dealing with meth, they're saying it takes up to 9 to 12 months to have a person break that urge. And so it's going to be imperative of the tribe to work with us, to work with the treatment programs of how can we develop a program that's going to have some long-term effect on those people that are in custody. The correctional facility actually has in-house facility for alcohol and substance abuse for women, a 40-bed facility, and they do start them in a treatment program there. So I think that's helpful. But otherwise, I think we have to look at developing a comprehensive approach to this, probably the development of a facility. I would like to see maybe in the Kyle area, because we're scheduled at some point in time to build a new correctional facility and justice center out there. I would like to see us, propose that to Congress and say let's be a first in any country of do not just a correctional facility but a treatment facility, a treatment facility that would handle those people caught up in the system and see if we can maybe break that cycle.
So how much does it cost per day to house offenders in the jail?
Right now, I would say that it's costing around $75 a day.
$75 a day?
To house someone.
What is the maximum punishment that they could be facing?
Well, the maximum punishment that we have in tribal court is 1 year in jail, just simply because there's in terms of a misdemeanor, that's anything, and that's all our court is a misdemeanor court.
Yeah.
So the maximum per charge could be 1 year in jail.
Okay. And lastly, how important is it for members of our community, whether it be educators, law enforcement, community members, children, to report meth?
It's very
Yeah.
important. It's something that has effect on everybody's life here. I mean, whether you're a meth user or not, you're often a victim because the meth user is breaking into your place to try to feed their habit. And so everybody's affected. But I think that the most thing is those families. And I know it's hard. It's hard to turn in a loved one. It's hard to say, hey, my son or my daughter is addicted to this. They're using, they need help. You know, what is there for them? You know, and I think the more people that step to the plate in terms of our communities and individuals, the better off we'll be as a tribe and as a nation. And the more reports we can get, and especially the people that are distributing it, because those are people that we can, you know, the distributors. I think that, you know, they don't need treatment. They need some jail time to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate you poisoning our people. And so, you know, that's something that we're definitely looking at.
Yeah. Gwen, would you like to add?
Yes, I wanted to add that the reason why we chose this project was because we wanted to do some prevention work here on the Pine Ridge Reservation and bring awareness to the Oyate and sincerely get a deep message out there to the population that, you know, it's affecting our families. It's affecting, you know, our communities. And we don't want the meth here to be ruining our future generations. We also wanted to stress, you know, the other parts of the intervention, and that's why we chose a recovering addict to talk about his story and how he overcame the abuse from methamphetamine.
I would like to introduce David Mills, who is a recovering addict, and he is going to share with us his experiences with methamphetamine. So we have some questions that we would like to ask of you so you could share with people within our community and your experiences with meth and how it has affected your life. So can you explain to us your first time using meth?
The first time I ever tried methamphetamine, it was kind of, I snorted a line, but from that moment, it got me hooked. I've been doing drugs since I was 16 years old, and the first time I tried methamphetamines, it completely took hold of me, like just completely. I wanted more.
At what point during your use of meth did you realize that you were becoming addicted to it?
I didn't realize that until I went to jail. Until I was put to treatment to actually look at myself and what it was doing to my life. In the middle of my addiction, I had no idea I was actually addicted to it. I thought in my head I could quit whenever I wanted.
How long do you know how long you were using before you actually got into treatment or had to serve jail time for it?
I started in, say, 2014. 2014, 15, 16, 17. On and off, I was in jail. About 2018 I think it was January 2018, I went to treatment. So in between those years, it was more or less I was in jail, out of jail, using, and I was so caught up on it that every time I got out released from jail, I was back on the run trying to find more of it.
Can you explain how your interactions with your family and friends were, with your friends, like how those interactions were with them while you were using meth?
There wasn't much of it. I cut everybody off. The only time I wanted them to know what I was doing or would speak to them is when I wanted something. It was when I wanted money or something I could get something from them in order to sell it, to make money, to get what I wanted. I wouldn't say I had friends. I would say I had people that I used.
Did do you think that your family was your family aware of your usage, and were they trying to do anything to like help you?
Oh, my mother and my grandmother were. They were trying to get me into treatments, trying to get me to stop, to slow down. But as long as I was doing it, and from my past experience with other drugs since I was 16, I lost a lot of those family relationships where I was completely cut off. So I did have my grandma and my mother that never gave up on me.
Okay. How did being on meth, how did it affect your work and your personal life?
I did not want to be around anybody. I didn't want to work. I just couldn't do it. I wanted that drug. I wanted a fast way to make the money. I wanted something I would rather go steal than work for it, honestly. I just wanted it. That's how bad that addiction took a hold of me.
Can you kind of explain when you were using, how your daily life consisted of, like when you were up, like during the morning hours and night hours, like the kind of, just basically what your daily routine was when you were trying to get the drug? Or
I was trying to get it?
Yeah, like what were some of the things?
It was always scamming, trying to either steal from Walmart, messaging my family saying that there's a crisis when there's really not. Somebody needed something, I need something, I'm hungry, when I just wanted the money. They would say, well, I'll go buy you the food and bring it to you. No, I don't want that. I just want that money. And that's basically what it was all day. It was looking for something to pawn, to sell, to steal, so I could sell back, to sell to other people, to scheme my family. That was my daily thing when I was looking for it.
And how long would your high last for?
Anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. I could be awake depending on how much I was using. If I was using a large amount of quantity. The longest I stayed awake was 14 days.
Oh wow.
And after that, things get crazy.
Can you explain a little bit about your the withdrawals and cravings you experienced at the time when you didn't have?
Mainly, it was like a shiver. Like every few minutes, it was like a cold chill go down all the way. And it was constantly in my head, I need this, I need to get it, I need to get it, I need to find a way to get it. And even when I was in jail, it was a constant, I need this, I don't want to do nothing, I want to lay here, I'm sick. And with methamphetamines, it's not more of a physical withdrawal, it's more of a mental withdrawal. I've learned a lot about methamphetamines, and it completely attacks your brain.
So what motivated you to quit and seek help, or change your life?
I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. You'll hear most addicts say that, and it's true because I've been to jail. I know so many times. I've lost everything. I've worked hard, got all this, had a home, had my family, and I lost it all. And I've done that over and over and over. And when I was in treatment for 13 months, and I got an opportunity to look back at my life from every single part of my life. And just right then, there was a part of me that was just like, I'm tired of this. I'm so tired. I don't want to do this no more. I want to live. And I'll be honest, it also revolved a lot about spirituality. Once I found my creator, then I was able to, know that I'm not alone in this fight. And being sober now, seeing all the people around me, all the support that keeps me sober.
Good to hear. You said that you did 13-month treatment program. Did where did you go for the treatment, and like what type of things did they do in treatment that really helped you as far as that?
I went to Rosewood. They have a really good methamphetamine program. It's usually 6 to 9 months, but I needed the extra help. So they work with you, they worked with me, and in that program, they do this thing called a 7-direction model, where it helps you figure out your, work on your physical, your mental, emotional, spirituality, and it helps you find one too. They don't tell you what to believe in, but they guide you to find something you believe in. And what I liked most about the program is it wasn't just to help you sober up. It was to help you in the real world, completely find balance. That way, and when you go back to the real world, you're not just focusing on trying to stay sober, you're focusing on trying to, get your life back together and keep it that way. So find a balance in between every single one.
What steps are you now doing to help with your recovery? What has been?
I've been going to meetings. I go to meetings a lot. I try to keep that going. I see a mental health counselor just to keep that going with the extra support. I did my aftercare. I'm on probation, so I speak with my probation officer. More other than that, it's mainly work. I work, I take care of my family. I have a family, we have a home, we have a car. Everything I lost, I've gained back 10 times better. And I refuse to let this go this time. And it's mainly, for me, it's in my head. I've turned off that switch where I just don't want it. There's no room for that in my life anymore.
What would be, what advice would you give to those who are struggling with meth and that are trying to wean or, seek rehabilitation or trying to get off meth? What advice would you have for those people?
It's possible. It's hard. It is, but every day you work on it. Best advice is seek a long-term treatment. Seek a long-term treatment. Find spirituality. Continue to believe in hope. Pray. Find support. Just keep trying. When I was in my addiction, I wanted to give up and I wanted to die. I tried to commit suicide several times, but once I went to that long-term treatment and I finally made it in my head that I want to stay sober, I did it. And for me, I continue to go around and help and go to panels, drug and alcohol panels, to share my story. That keeps me sober. Helping others. Once you find your way, don't forget to help out the ones still hurting, because that'll keep you sober. And so that's why I continue to do what I do. I never think I'm better than anybody. When I see somebody struggling, it hurts my heart because I've been there. And but there's always hope, and there is a creator. If there wasn't, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I've been through a lot of things where I probably wouldn't have survived, but I did, and I give it to the creator. So that's the best advice I can give, is just find your spirituality and hold on to it.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. We really appreciate it. And you have a lot of courage, and I commend you on your recovery. And thank you for, being comfortable sharing that with us.
Thank you.
And we also would like to encourage everyone that may be viewing this that not to be afraid and to take courage. And if you feel like you need help, if you're using meth, to please do so for our children and for our community, because it's not a part of who we are. It's affecting our children. It's hindering their spirits. It's hindering your spirit. And we really need to start taking action. So if you need help, you please come forward to, seek help or treatment. And some of the resources that are available on the reservation is
Betuluto TP.
There is, you could go there for an assessment. other places, I mean, reach out for resources. Some of the solutions or some of the things that we've researched is that as Lakota people, we are naturally spiritual people. And we encourage you to take part in getting yourself healed and seeking that part of you that is innate, that you're born with, such as attending sweats. You know, if that's the route you want to take, find your spirituality that is going to help you on your path to recovery. It's really important to you to connect, to bond with people you love, whether it be your culture, your family, or your children, so that it can assist you in your road to recovery.
And with that, you know, meth was never a part of our culture. And I want to just let you guys know that, you know, we're not on it. You know, in Lakota, it's called meth, hey, Oma Pashni, which means we're not on it. And I think that's a strong message that we need to get to our children. So as they grow up, they know that this drug that is here on our reservation is not good, and they don't have to put up with it either.
And it's not a part of who we are. And with that, we would like to thank everybody we want to thank the college for allowing us the opportunity to do an awareness piece like this, and that we hope that we gave you some insight and help you generate some possible solutions to recovery. And if you need help, don't be afraid to seek help.
And with our final words, if you would like to contact me or Jenny, if you're serious about seeking help, we're willing to help you. If you will come forward and, you know, if you want to reach out to us. Jenny's a part of the Pine Ridge community. I'm a part of the Porcupine community. And we would just really like to thank the Oglala Lakota College for giving us this opportunity to grow in our education as graduate students.